Hello guys! Oh, and the girls. And the girls. Maybe you have realized I'm speaking English now. It may sound like a joke, but it was not meant to be. I just felt I should speak English. And for all the mistakes, just blame the Google Translate. Before I start, I want to tell you that I work at Red Hat and JBoss Forge is a tool that I was actually working on. And therefore, I may be a little bit biased. Okay, a lot. Well, it's time to get to the point. JBoss Forge is a code generator tool to help you build your applications. But why do we need such a tool? Think a moment about how many frameworks, standards and libraries do we actually use in Java. For example, we have JPA for saving objects to database, JSF for presentation layer, JTA for transactions, CDI and injection, frameworks like Spring, and the last shortcut on this list, JAX-RS for web services. You may probably know this is by far not all of them that you can use in your code, and you need to know the details in order to configure them well. And this is the place where JBoss Forge comes in. It is there to configure all the things for you and help you start building a new project. Okay, that's probably enough. And now we are going to pass two levels, the rocky one and the experienced one. In the rocky one, we will create a new web application just using Forge, and we also look at how you can install the Forge to Eclipse. In the experience level, we are going to create our own command that we will call afterwards. Okay, I believe you are ready because I am. Let's start with the rocky level, the first one, more easier one. Our objective is now to create a web application using Forge. To do that, we will need to install JBoss Forge in Eclipse. We do not need to use Eclipse, we could actually use IntelliJ or Shell and maybe once NetBeans, but I'm most familiar with Eclipse, so it won. Then we will create JPA entities for which we will generate the presentation layer. And that's all for now. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start with the first point, how we can install JBoss Forge in Eclipse. On JBoss Forge website, just scroll down to a download link that will get you to JBoss Tools. And JBoss Tools is not only about JBoss Forge, it contains support for Wildfly or OpenShift or some stuff like this. In case you wouldn't like to have all these things, you can go to Forge GitHub and download Forge only just by using this link when installing new software. Let's say you now know how you can install JBoss Forge, and let's go further to see what JBoss Forge is inside and what you can do with this. So the next task is to create JPA entities and generate the presentation layer. So let's go and let's do this. I'm now in Eclipse, and just by typing Ctrl+4 I can run JBoss Forge, select new project. Just type in a name, let the defaults and click finish. The project was created, you can see it on the left, and now we have to create JPA entities. So let's go back, Ctrl+4, JPA new entity. And now Forge has realized we do not have JPA set yet, so we can select all the versions we want to use and some other configuration stuff. Now we get to JPA entity that we will select a person object. Now just type finish and it's already done. See, it really is here, it was generated from JBoss Forge. Now let's give it some other field, so JPA field, and now select name. For example, person has a name. Defaults are okay, finish. And now you see it is really here, it has its methods also. So let's say JPA entity is done. So what do we have next? Generate presentation layer. Okay, we are full of energy, so let's go do this. Again, context of the project, Ctrl+4, scaffolding, it's called scaffolding. Generate, let's select faces. Now again we can select all the versions we want to use within the scaffolding. Now select the entity that we want to scaffold from and finish. Blue is good, it means it was actually really done. Okay, now I will deploy this to Wildfly. It's easy because I have JBoss tools. Now let's check it online with this URL and let's just type it into my Firefox. And see, this is the beauty we have just created. You can create new entities, for example, give it a name, Maciej, my name. Again, for example, Forge as a second name. And now we have a list of all the entities. We can select one and play with this. This is just a skeleton of the wall project that you will create. We are done with the first episode. Let's go to experience level, the second one. Are you ready for this? So let's go! Our objective is now to create an add-on that will tweet. Add-on is a specific thing that provides functionality and comments. We will need to understand how add-ons work in JBoss Forge, then we will build and install the Twitter add-on because it's not shipped inside the core add-ons of Forge, and then we will build and install our own new add-on that will use the Twitter add-on in order to tweet a message. Okay, I feel ready, I feel you too. Let's go. We need to create a new project, so command for new project. Give it some creative name. Okay, it's now Forge add-on, it's not a web application anymore, and type next. Now we have to select all the add-ons we want to depend on. We will depend on Twitter add-on that I have already installed into my Forge. I will show you how, and just type finish. This will take a while, so we can relax for a second. Okay, it was created, so add-on that depends on Twitter add-on was created and selected on the left. I will show you now how you can install Twitter add-on into your Forge runtime because it's not shipped inside. Just go to add-on tab, now click the Twitter, and now you can see how you can install it in shell. I will just copy git URL because you can install add-on just by having git repository URL. Okay, now it's time again to Ctrl+4 to run Forge and to build and install the Twitter add-on if you would just need it. Here it is, build and install using git, and here you will just provide the URL, but I'm not going to do this, I have done it already. And I have also set it up, I put there my credentials in the Twitter setup command, so it's now connected to my Twitter account. Now we are going to create a new command, just a simple class with a creative name. Okay, I'm satisfied. This is, by the way, a simpler way of creating a command. Now I am just typing a simple method that is going to return result that's for a specific thing, so I will import this. And now just return success all the time. Okay, we have it. Just a simple command. Let's now add an option for the user to specify the message that he wants to tweet. So option, that's again a specific annotation in Forge. So we will need to import this. Okay, we are just now, only one thing is needed now. We will need to annotate this as a command to tell Forge this is a command method that should be listed within the commands. Now we have a simple command that accepts a message and just returns success all the time. But we wanted to tweet, right? So let's just check how we can use the Twitter add-on. The dependency was already put there by Forge, so we can skip this. Now we can see how we can use the Twitter. So just inject the Twitter instance and import the things. Okay, and now we just can see how we can just update the status of the Twitter account. So just let's put there the message from the user, and now we also have to handle the exceptions. Okay, we should be done now, so we will just need to install the add-on into the Forge runtime and just we will try this. Okay, Ctrl+4 and now build and install add-on, specify our own add-on. It is there, finish. Okay, this will take a while. I could give a commercial, right? No, I will just tell you how the Forge actually works underneath. There is a furnace that's a runtime that has add-on registry and JBoss modules. JBoss modules is there to provide multi-modular system, and add-on registry is providing a way how you can access the add-ons that are already installed. If you want some specific information, there are some add-ons that are running inside Forge that you can access. For example, in our case, there is Twitter or UI providing functionality of being in Eclipse. We are now creating our own new add-on, installing it and putting it just right into the Forge. It is using the Twitter add-on and of course UI add-on because it can be seen as a command. So this is how it looks underneath. And maybe now you also feel that it's the right time to check our add-on, how it works. So let's go back. Okay, it was installed. So now our command is called my new command. Okay, so let's find it. So give me I new. Okay, it's here. And now we can specify the message for the Twitter. So I don't know, Forge tweet just from Eclipse. Okay, let's go with this. It's running and hopefully it's done. Let's just check this. Twitter.com. You can see this. Yes. Okay, let's go back to the slide. There is a lot of add-ons that you can actually use. It's not only about Twitter add-on. So if you're not satisfied with the core add-on, just go on the website and check others. And now, recapitulation. Firstly, we have created a project quite fast just by using JBoss Forge. Then we have created our own add-on that used another add-on, used its functionality, and it also provided user interface for the user to specify the message. The command would work from shell also, and that's actually two use cases that you can use JBoss Forge for. Okay, I hope this is enough for you because that's all I have prepared for today. And if not, if you are hungry for knowledge, don't be ashamed. Just check my other videos about Spring IOC or Spring Transactions. See you!